industry, where accidents such as Chernobyl and Fukushima have had devastating consequences. Ionizing radiation is a form of radiation that has enough energy to remove tightly bound electrons from atoms or molecules, resulting in the formation of ions. This process can cause chemical and biological changes in living organisms, and is therefore of great concern to human health and safety. Here are some more details on ionizing radiation. Sources of ionizing radiation. Ionizing radiation can come from a variety of sources, including natural sources. Ionizing radiation is present in the natural environment, and is emitted by sources such as radon gas, cosmic rays, and the sun. Medical sources. Ionizing radiation is used in a variety of medical procedures, such as X-rays and CT scans. In some cases, medical radiation can be a significant source of exposure. Industrial sources. Ionizing radiation is used in a variety of industrial applications, such as nuclear power generation, food irradiation, and sterilization of medical equipment. Consumer sources. Ionizing radiation can also come from consumer products such as smoke detectors, which contain small amounts of radioactive material. Effects of ionizing radiation. Ionizing radiation can have a number of effects on living organisms, depending on the dose and duration of exposure. Here are some of the effects. Acute radiation syndrome. Acute radiation syndrome is a serious condition that can occur after exposure to high doses of ionizing radiation. Symptoms include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and in severe cases, death. Cancer. Ionizing radiation can damage DNA and other cellular structures, leading to the development of cancer over time. This is a particular concern for people who are exposed to high levels of radiation over long periods of time, such as nuclear power plant workers. Genetic effects. Ionizing radiation can cause mutations in DNA that can be passed on to future generations. This is a concern for people who are exposed to radiation at a young age, as they may be at increased risk of genetic disorders. Other health effects. Ionizing radiation can also cause a variety of other health effects, such as skin burns, cataracts, and cardiovascular disease. Radiation protection. To protect against ionizing radiation, it is important to take appropriate safety precautions. Here are some of the ways to protect against radiation. Time. Minimize the amount of time spent in areas where radiation is present. Distance. Increase the distance between yourself and the source of radiation. Shielding. Use protective shielding, such as lead aprons or concrete walls, to reduce exposure. Personal protective equipment. Wear personal protective equipment, such as gloves and respirators, to reduce exposure to radioactive materials. Monitoring. Monitor radiation levels in the environment and in the body, and take appropriate action if levels are too high. Medical imaging is a technique used to visualize the interior of the human body in order to diagnose and treat medical conditions.